Okay, good to meet.
Jason Royer, Royer Reptiles, consider and take action on exotic snake ordinance to include use street regulations for possession rather than prohibiting possession. Yes, sir.
Morning, gentlemen. Thank you again for allowing me to speak this morning. I got copies here, and I don't know if they passed them out already. These are the...
We've already got.
Okay. Well, if anybody else wants a copy, I've got plenty. I got with the Herp Alliance legal team. They watched the video, and, of everyone's concerns, and I leave back for Iraq again in 6 days, and I can't, I'm not going to be able to come to any of the future meetings. So I wanted to get this in your hands so you can see what we came up with. I tried to get in touch with Dr. Hill, but I couldn't find him. He had swine flu, so
I'm not so certain I had the swine flu, but everybody I gave it to claimed it.
So he unfortunately been out of commission, but we're going to actually get together a little bit more today so he can come to the facility and see, what we do. But basically, on the 5th page, what we came up with here is possession is still prohibited unless you follow these rules, and the rules are obviously very strict. Enclosure. The caging is the backbone of it. You got to have a proper cage. If you have a proper cage, very secure, and it has an operable lock, it's bite-proof, it's escape-proof. The issue of an animal being loose should be pretty much alleviated. It needs to be clearly and visibly labeled with a scientific name, common name, number of specimens in the enclosure. In case somebody does have to come in there, if one of them is loose, they can know how many were in there. The cage needs to be marked venomous snake inside. I actually have some examples. I was up in Arlington this weekend at a reptile expo, and somebody gave me some stickers, some of the kind of what they like to use for stuff like that, venomous reptile danger, and then for transport containers, something smaller to let people know, hey guys, we got a venomous animal inside. The transport containers, the same way. They have to be escape-proof, bite-proof. They need to be clearly and visibly labeled, scientific name, common name. For venomous, a bite protocol needs to be required in the facility. In case EMT or somebody has to go in there, they have steps and procedure. And this is normal for venomous keepers, at least the responsible ones. They do this anyways because their lives are in their hands too. So, emergency contact information, local animal control office. Name and location of suitable antivenom, first aid procedures, and treatment guidelines. This stuff's all real easy to get a hold of, especially with the San Antonio Zoo. Even for the non-native venomous stuff, they have antivenom on hand, and they have a process. So, and the venomous keepers have to know that and keep that with the animals. In the event of an escape, they need to have an escape recovery plan so they can have an idea how to get the animal back, and they have to notify local law enforcement. And I can give the court and the clerk contact information, not just for us, but for the local Herp Society. That's actually something that they do whenever animals are loose. They come to recover them. And they've got years of experience with the venomous or the large constrictors or whatever. They can come get the animal if that's necessary. And then when anyone steps into the facility, whether it's somebody's home or an actual reptile facility, a clearly labeled inventory needs to be posted within plain sight immediately inside the main entry of the facility, so that if a person has to walk in, they know that their venomous animals contain what is in there, and very, very clear. The one thing that I did bring up to the Herp Nation, the Herp Alliance legal team was the outdoor signage, and it raised concerns with them as far as inviting vandalism and theft, because some of these animals are in the tens of thousands of dollars just for one animal, and thefts have occurred at other people's facilities. So that did raise some concerns, and that's why they went with the plus they also did say that some homeowners insurance, they don't care if you have the animals in your home, but if you put a sign out in your front, because it would invite vandalism and possible theft, they'll drop the insurance. So I mean, that was a concern to them, but that's why they went with the route of labeling the transport containers, labeling the caging, and also putting something inside. As soon as you go in, there it is right there, for anybody to see that, hey, there are venomous animals inside, and here's what is in here, and here's what you need to do in case something happens. So, I mean, like I said, because he's been sick, I would have gladly waited, but in 6 days I'm back in Iraq, so I just wanted to get this in everybody's hands so we can, hopefully I can get my animals back home and maybe, get this thing finished. So But that's basically it.
Well, Dr. Hill, we want to thank you for bringing this to our attention. And obviously, same as we, you just want some responsible, you know, we don't want, and I think
I'm the same way,
we all
absolutely.
share the same thing.
Yes, sir.
We just want people to be responsible and so protection for the community and protection for your business. And I think this probably is the best of both worlds, and we appreciate you for bringing it to us and for y'all working together on it and coming up with it.
Well, I'm gonna clear my surgery schedule this afternoon and go to his facility today.
Okay.
And then he and I are gonna kind of hammer this out the best we can, and we'll present it to you.
Okay.
And then I'll notify him via email.
One thing I would like to say, this big picture in the reptile community, not just statewide but nationwide, this has kind of brought, you know, some attention to Wilson County because there's a lot of good keepers that self-police and are very responsible and they do well. But then of course people get their hands on animals that they probably shouldn't get their hands on because they're irresponsible. And actually that's why it's one of the largest expos in the country, the one in Arlington. And I spoke with some of the national organizations, and we're actually going to start working on a program, like an apprenticeship program, I think, nationwide, so that we can better self-police. And this issue right here actually brought that up. So I think it's a good thing, you know, for the entire reptile community and everybody involved.
And Judge, I would like to add that what I really hope that we might be able to do is add to this poisonous and dangerous reptiles. You know, we're just looking at snakes here. But if you outlaw snakes, they'll go to something else. And you know, the poisonous dart frog is probably one of the most deadly frogs in the world. And you know, the cane toad frog, they'll start trading these things. And so we need to look at all poisonous and or dangerous reptiles. You know, like you in your articles with Mrs. Dilla going back and forth, you talked about your ball pythons, you know, rarely get over 4 feet. And at our first meeting that we had, that's what we were looking at. You know, a constrictor over 4 feet we consider dangerous. So that will exempt 95% of yours, of your snakes. It's a rare thing, and you even stated that a snake will go over up to 5 feet. Well, so it'll be a rare thing that you'll have to get rid of that. And what I would like for us to consider in the county, that there needs to be a grandfather clause. I mean, this is a business that he had. We're not here to destroy businesses. I'm here to help him the best we can with that. But at the same time, all the arguments that we had at our last meeting that these things can't survive, they are surviving. They're in cages. And yeah, the statistics that a tornado might knock their house down is very minimal. It still exists. And signage, I think, is going to be a real big issue for us. I think that we do need signage. I think it's very important. And I think that we need to ask for, if you're going to have a poisonous, venomous reptile, it can only be indigenous to Wilson County. And nothing else. We don't need cobras here, and mambas and all the rest. So that's kind of where I stand. Jason knows that's where I stand.
Well, it's like I said, I appreciate that you brought it to us, but I do want to recognize that these people have a business and have an investment, and that they provide us with some very good, I think, rules to manage it, you know. So we're not going to please everybody, but I want to be fair to everybody that we deal with, and to our communities too.
And these frogs that you're talking about, can they survive?
Well, actually, the poison dart frog, what he's talking about, the reason that they have the poison is there's a certain ant indigenous to their native lands, like in South America. If they don't eat that ant, it's no longer a poison dart frog, it's actually just a dart frog. And they're commonly traded throughout the reptile community, and they need that ant in order to produce that poison. If they don't have that ant to eat, which nobody feeds them that ants in the reptile community, they're not poisonous anymore. They're just considered dart frogs.
Okay, we'll have ants on there.
That'll be the next thing is.
Yeah, but no, nobody in the reptile community
Well,
feeds them those
yeah,
ants.
because I feed you poisonous ants.
Yeah. No, nobody does that.
That's what I was gonna say.
No, fire ants.
We need to throw a real big loop is what I'm saying. We need to tie this baby down. Be careful.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
So you think about
Thank you.
noon?
Item 17, Thorn Graves Architect. Item A, is proposed